Hey guys, Opal here and welcome back to the channel. So today we're in Mythopia doing another Toontown. I've done another one recently for my Toontown submission for my dream snap, but I really wanted to do one in Mythopia because I've actually never done a Toontown whatsoever in Storybook Vale, so I thought this was a perfect time to kind of just fill up a little bit of space. Today I cleared my whole Storybook Vale, so yeah, this was the best location that I thought. Not the only location though, but I thought this would be a really good location because it's quite a weird kind of area, but I feel like that's good because it's not too small, it's not too big, and it's not too wide. So yeah, I just went with this area. It's also a very high traffic area, so I feel like it's a good build to put in this area because I will be walking through it a lot, and yeah, I love walking through Toontowns. They just bring me so much joy. But yeah, the kind of grass on the ground was kind of giving me a little bit of desert vibes. I didn't want to go like full like fairy core or anything like that, which I usually would do in Mythopia. Instead, I did kind of deserty but still lush vibe. Deserty jungle, I don't know. But yeah, I did some pathing and I kept it really simple. I ran out of asphalt, so I did, instead of using asphalt, I used regular brick and then the rocky brick, whatever that's called, this one here, and I used these two and just did 3 wide and made a pathing like this. Very simple, very easy, but I think it looks really good, and I actually really like how the brick looks with that rocky paver. I'm not really sure what it's called, but yeah, I did use a lot of the Toontown sort of decorations. I used these lamps and I used that Mickey fountain. I also used the partner statue, and these red benches really give me Toontown vibes, so I did add those in here. I'm also so happy to say that I finally got to use the fire station in my Toontown because I always forget to use this until it's the last second and then I can't fit it anywhere, so I made sure I had a spot for it. This is kind of the foliage that we're using in this build. I went with very basic foliage. I did not put that much, and I really like it. It just blends so nicely with the grass, I feel, and it's not too over the top. I do really like it. It gives me like desert vibes without it being like desert. I did kind of make sure that I decorated all the houses a little bit differently, which I feel like gives a very nice kind of town sort of vibe to this build. But in saying that, everything does blend in really nicely. I don't jump around too much in this build because I really did decorate section by section, which was actually really fun. And I think I'm going to be doing my decorating like this now because it just flows so much better. Just working a little bit harder on one spot to finish it before moving on to the next. But yeah, this is a really weird corner in front of Donald's house, and I didn't really want to block it off, but I kind of had to, so I just used that fern and that bush, and then I just used similar foliage on this little kind of rectangular bit here. Yeah, just using the same foliage, and it looks really good too on this more yellowy side as opposed to that nice lush green. I also want to say that I feel like Donald's boat was, this lake, was perfectly designed to fit Donald's boat in here. Like seriously, it fits so good on like any angle. I think it looks really good in this little corner spot, but you can also put it in the other side. Kind of by the entrance, the other entrance where the bridge is, you can also put it there, which is so cool. I do, however, wish that in the future we do get the option to put Donald's boat not in the water, because I feel like that would just look really good. And yeah, it does kind of limit the possibilities for Toontowns, which is really annoying because there's so many other spots that I wish I could build a Toontown, but I really don't want to build a Toontown if I cannot put Donald in it. It just does not make any sense to me whatsoever. But yeah, I just continue doing this little bit, and honestly I kept it really simple, but I really like how simple those areas look. They just look very cohesive. On this side, we do have a little bit of a different vibe because I do Minnie's house a little bit more colorful and magical. Daisy's house is kind of not that magical, but she kind of is across from Minnie, so she gets to feel the Minnie vibes anyway. But yeah, I put Minnie kind of in the back here. I wasn't planning on extending this build because it already is quite a big build, but I did end up doing that just because I really wanted them all to have their own separate little spots. So yeah, Minnie goes all the way at the back here on a little corner so we can see her nicely. And I did kind of like a foliage flower sort of park area using a lot of the pinks and also similar foliage to everything else that we had been using, just to kind of blend it in. But honestly, I feel like this looks really good, kind of how it's different from everything else, because you really do get that big pop of color and a lot of interest, which I really like. Yeah, I just think it turned out really cute. My favorite way to kind of decorate very like foliage rich spots is just by clumping a lot of foliage together at the start. I just do clumps that are very obviously separated at the start, and then when I finish those clumps, then I go in and add a little bit of detail in between the clusters. And yeah, I feel like this is like the best way to do foliage, because I just think it looks so clean but also so good. Like very overgrown but also super clean. Sometimes I feel like it's hard to make foliage look clean and also messy at the same time. That's probably a really weird thing to say, but if you know, you know. But yeah, I did add in this big pink mushroom because I just think it looks so cute here. Really does match the vibes. And then I also just put these little stone pebbles just around the little, whatever it's called, topiary something, I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, just to kind of make it feel more like a centerpiece. And then using the magnolia benches just in these two little areas, and then extending the foliage just a little bit. It was quite hard to put extra foliage in the like little middle pieces because I didn't really leave enough room, which was really unfortunate, but I did manage to squeeze a bit of grass and also the magnolia like flower clusters, which look really good, just kind of scattered around the ground. I could have used some like cactus plants, flowers, and some other little flowers, but I really couldn't be bothered, so this is what I did. It's also good because you can't accidentally pick them up using the ancient machine, which I always accidentally do. But yeah, by this point I was really enjoying this little area of Minnie's house. Daisy's house, like I said, is not as colourful and cheerful, but we do something special for her too. Unfortunately, Goofy doesn't really have that much space. So I just use this little area to kind of incorporate both sides and kind of mesh them together, basically by creating kind of a border so you can't really see a lot of the pink from this side, but also using a lot of the same foliage that we're using on the other side by Donald's little boat. But yeah, I really do like this little area, even though he doesn't get a big space. I feel like it's quite Goofy like. I also like that he's still really close to the water, right across from Donald. I feel like that really suits. And I did give him a little bit of decoration, like his own little bike and some barrels, because I feel like who doesn't want barrels in front of their house? But yeah, now we're moving on to this little kind of weird area that we have over here. I decided to put a partner statue, and then I also decided to do a little market area. I did my market in this area quite different than I usually do, and I honestly really love it. So I use these Mulan wall fence things that I never really get any use out of it, but I have a feeling like they look kind of like stall back things where like you could maybe put like posters or like signage and things like that, or like if you were selling like something that could hang, you could like hang it on there. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I used two of these and kind of just put them next to each other. I just feel like it gives them a very separated space, but I feel like it looks so rustic and nice at the same time. I do wish we had like one of these that was Touch of Magic, because I would go so ham on like decorating and like putting little veggies on this one and then little gems on the other one, sort of like a big poster behind the stalls. I just think that'd look so cute. But yeah, I just kind of use that same sort of foliage that we were using and just go in all the corners and little areas that don't have anything, but I didn't want to put too much foliage to kind of enclose the space. I did put two little chairs too, which I thought was like super cute. I got the realism going in this one. Okay, and then yeah, for the other little bits, I didn't really know what to do, I'll be honest. Like on the other side of this bit and where Mickey's house is, I had no idea what to do there. especially because they kind of share a driveway. So I started working on the partner statue area, and I kind of had a little bit of an idea just to do like a nice hedge wall and then also like a checkered sort of pathing, and I feel like this looks really good. It's not too intense, but it also kind of matches with the rest of the build without looking too fancy, which I really like. I feel like it's kind of hard to do Toontown sometimes and use some of the regular items that you would usually use, because it's hard to make it look like a Toontown if you're using these like extravagant, very elegant objects. So yeah, I feel like this kind of meshes the two vibes together really well. And then for Mickey's house and the fire station, this one kind of, yeah, not that much space to use, honestly, for two houses, which is kind of annoying. But I did this like pathing that's kind of curved so they can have their own kind of driveways. And then I did something that wasn't very creative, and I put a lot of foliage, but I feel like it works really well. And we already have the park next to this area, so I didn't want it to feel too cluttered or too intense. I wanted the focus to be definitely on the park, and I feel like we kind of accomplished that. So yeah, I'm not mad about it. It just could have been a little bit better, honestly. The other thing that could have been better is if we had those paths that connected to each other. That would look so cute in this biome without having that little grass strip all the way around. But yeah, to add a little bit more interest, I did add some grates because they really do help in making the path feel less pathy. So I just put a couple of those, and then I started working on Daisy's little area, which I really wanted to add this pool so badly. I never add pools into my Toontowns, but I feel like they look perfect in these areas. So I added this little pool, put a lot of foliage. I didn't fence it off or anything because I wanted it to feel quite open, like everyone could enjoy it. And yeah, just use the same sort of foliage. I ended up putting some table and chairs, the Stitch bundle, from the Stitch bundle. They're like rattan, I guess they're like straw actually, those table and chairs. Not table, the umbrellas, sorry, these ones here, because I just think they look so cute and kind of match a similar vibe to what we had been using in the rest of the build. And then just some colourful chairs to kind of bring everything together. But yeah, I love this little area. It's so open but so cozy at the same time. I really love it. This build, it took me a very long time, so there is a lot of things that I cut out of this video, but we're almost at the walkthrough part of the video, so we will see it all in one. Here is some overview shots of all of the little areas that we decorated today, and yeah, I absolutely love it. I think everything looks really cute. The only thing is that the pathing's really open, but I like that it's open because, like I said, it's a very high traffic area for me. I always walk through this biome, so I'm kind of glad. And here's me walking through the build. Honestly, love it so much. Like I said, added a couple extra details here and there, but I think it's so fun, and I love how all of the Toontown characters really fit perfectly into this biome and in Storybook Vale. I think this is such a gorgeous area for them. In the future, I'd love to do a Toontown in the blue biome. Keep forgetting what it's called, but I think that would be super gorgeous. We could do like a fairy core kind of enchanted kind of build, or even like a spooky Halloween build, even though Halloween's like so far away, but we can still bring out the spooky vibes. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Here's some more overview shots of the build. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it gave you some inspiration. Bye bye.